Good evening. Today is Monday, June 9th, 2025. It is now 6 o'clock p.m. This meeting is now open. Representing the quorum tonight are Ms. Kathy Arlano, Mr. Doug James, Ms. Denise Morrison, Ms. Nicole Peters, Mr. Dustin Qualls, and myself, Rob Ellis. Thank you for joining us this evening. As provided by the Texas Government Code, the Board of Trustees may go into closed session at any time in accordance with 551-071, private consultation with board's attorney regarding all matters as authorized by law, including board governance. 551-072, discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. 551-074, discussing employment, evaluation, or discipline of personnel, including board governance, superintendent evaluation, and contract and central office administration. 551-076, discussing security personnel and devices and district-wide intruder audit detection audit report findings. 551-082, discussing disciplinary matters or complaints regarding school children and district employees. 551-0821, discussing personally identifiable information about public school students. And 551-087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. We're going to begin tonight with some board business regarding the vacancy of the seat for trustee position 3, previously held by Mr. Chris Todd. During our meeting on May 19th, we voted to appoint Ms. Georgianne Reitmeyer to fill the vacant position effective June 1st, 2025 at 12 o'clock a.m. Ms. Ellen Spalding, board attorney, will now conduct the ceremonial administration of the oath of office.
Reitmeyer, it is my honor to conduct the ceremonial oath of office. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Georgianne Reitmeyer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of this office
of trustee on the Board of Trustees
as trustee on the Board of Trustees
for the Klein Independent School
for
District
the Klein Independent School District
in Klein, Texas,
in Klein, Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Ms. Spalding, and welcome back, Ms. Reitmeyer. We also recognize in attendance former board members, Mr. Ronnie Anderson and Mr. Chris Todd. So thank you all for being here. The Board of Trustees hears public comment on both agenda and non-agenda items at all regular board meetings in accordance with Texas Government Code 551-007 and local board policy. As communicated to each registered speaker in writing earlier today, each registered speaker has an allotted time up to 2 minutes, and comments must not mention any individuals by name or position or contain any personally identifiable reference. In order to keep our meeting efficient and safe, no registered speaker may approach the table. Each registered speaker should watch the clock here in front. It'll notify you when your 2 minutes has expired. Perfect. Mr. Qualls, can you please call tonight's first registered speaker?
President Ellis, our first registered speaker this evening is Dr. Patrick Huff. Dr. Huff, please approach the podium. You'll have 2 minutes to speak, and I'll just start it whenever you begin.
Members of the Klein Board, I come to you today with a sense of urgency. Those that control the public education agenda in Austin advertise they strive for equity in policy and practice. There is no equity in the accountability system. The entire agenda is set up to make it extremely difficult for our Title I schools to make a decent rating. The laws passed by our Texas legislature support and promote the inequity built into the agenda. They blame the low performance on teachers or weak leadership, but the critical issue lie in the challenges of working in schools that pull from neighborhoods of poverty. The deck is stacked against these Title I schools, and all Commissioner Morath needs is one school to begin his plans for takeover. This discriminatory agenda is not going away. The current leadership in Austin and the TEA is not going to change the way our public schools are evaluated, and now he has the sights on the private schools. The agenda discriminates, and any overarching governing system that discriminates against groups of people cannot be tolerated. So what can be done? I urge you as an elected board to once again band together with other districts that you joined with when you took on TEA to court over its manipulation of the performance domain. Do it again. Rally your like-minded people. This time do it with the intent to outlaw the accountability system. It's unlawful to discriminate, and the TEA has been doing it for 30-plus years. Remember what I mentioned last month when I talked about Fort Worth. Watch what happens there very closely. I urge you to talk about what I have put before you today in your private meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Huff. President Ellis, our next registered speaker this evening is Ms. Nikki Kinchin. Ms. Kinchin, will you please approach the podium? You will have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the timer whenever you begin.
I observed with disbelief that a former affiliate was on stage and in the main graduation pit during the ceremony. My understanding is that Klein residents vote in our trustees as a voice through their vote. I would like to express a few concerns about what I witnessed at NRG during the Klein-Cain graduation. I'm deeply troubled that the following issues were not clearly addressed. Safety for all students, respect for current elected trustees, and those parents with special needs students to accompany their child if needed. Sadly, while approaching the student area with my kids, my special needs son had some reserves about entering and asked if I could come with them. He didn't want a teacher, he wanted me. After asking Klein staff, I was turned away because the day was about my twins and others. I didn't want to cause an ordeal to only be removed from the ceremony. Thank God his twin sister was right by his side to babysit him. I then proceeded to sit in the permitted area for parents and guests to only see and former affiliate and now parent just like me to be on stage and in the main pit with graduates. Sadly, these are real stories, and we see and hear when the least common will snap with safety issues. It's one thing to have someone retired from a position, but then when the voters speak at the polls, what a slap in the face. So here I am today, once again, that's faced with another bout of retaliation because of ongoing unfinished district handlings. Thank God my kids are away from this place due to the constant retaliation that we have received. I've sent a PIR request pertaining to this policy, and I'm in hopes that it will not be blocked by staff. Furthermore, my list of employee and parent complaints just keeps growing. Do you even care about the employees at this point? Not your friends or loyal puppets, but do you care about all the employees? Lastly, like I said, I'm just shocked. I don't even know how to even word this. Did y'all even go through applications for other trustees to join the board?
Thank you, Ms. Kinchin. President Ellis, our next registered speaker this evening is Ms. Sally Machetta. Ms. Machetta, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll start the clock whenever you begin.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. This is part one of my speech. This is a story about a substitute teacher and 30 high school students who were held as hostages at Klein Forest High School. In October of 2024, Klein ISD hired me to work as a long-term substitute teacher at Klein Forest High School. I committed to the long-term substitute teacher assignment and intended to fulfill my obligations to complete the entire semester in the long-term substitute teacher assignment. I expected Klein ISD to fulfill its end of the bargain by providing me with the tools and support that I needed to complete the semester. On November 18, 2024, I was working as a long-term substitute teacher, and I was in a classroom which had 25 high school students as well as 5 nonverbal special education students. On November 18, 2024, while I was in the classroom with the 30 students, one of the male students made a death threat to me. The male student told me that he wanted me to die, he wanted me dead, and he was going to find out where I lived and what kind of car I drove. I asked the student if he meant for me to interpret this as a death threat. He said yes. The student repeated that he wanted me to die. I asked the male student for his name. He was not wearing his name badge. He would not provide his name to me. He was not sitting in his assigned seat. The other students wouldn't tell me his name because they were too scared of the repercussions from the student. The student was carrying an oversized backpack and kept patting his backpack. It appeared to me that the male student had a dangerous apparatus in that backpack. And so what I did was I ran down, tried to get help. I ran to the police department and had another teacher come into the classroom, and the other teacher came into the classroom and got the kid out of the classroom and barricaded the door so he couldn't get back in. On the next day, the associate principal walks in and terminates my employment and walks me out.
Can't refer to a person by position or name.
Well, a member of administration walked me out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Machetta. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Mr. Suresh Srinivasan. Mr. Srinivasan, will you please approach the podium? You will have 2 minutes, and I'll start the clock whenever you begin.
I'm going to start it now. Good evening, trustees, Dr. McGowan, and members of the administration. My name is Suresh Srinivasan. I sat in this very hall 8 years ago when my older son was honored as valedictorian. And again 4 years ago when my younger son was honored being top 10. Today I return not with pride, but with deep concern, rooted in first-hand information and not in speculation. A student's success depends on stability, from principals to APs to counselors to teachers. But at Klein High, I have seen repeated leadership changes mid-year with new principals bringing in new staff. This constant reshuffling, sometimes in the middle of the years, disrupts student support systems. A 9th grader should have consistency in guidance, not revolving doors. Teachers, many highly qualified, tell me of patterns of administrative retaliation. This isn't just at Klein High. Similar issues are emerging at Klein Collins. I believe we may be facing systemic problems. The district claims exit interviews are conducted, yet teachers have provided written proof that none have occurred. I've asked to see procedures, because if there is a disconnect, someone is not telling the truth. Administrative positions have grown rapidly since 2020. Are these roles necessary? Are funds being directed to classrooms or to central offices? As Senator Paul Bettencourt said, what gets measured gets fixed. We need real data, real transparency, and public accountability. I seek resolution and not conflict. This will take time, but I believe that it will lead to a stronger Klein ISD for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. President Ellis, our next registered speaker this evening is Mr. Justin Wooldridge. Mr. Wooldridge, please approach the podium.
He's not here.
Not seeing Mr. Wooldridge. That is the last of our registered speakers this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Qualls. The trustees will now move into closed session under sections 551, 071, 072, 074, 076, 082, 0821, and 551, 087. The time is now 6:14 p.m.
Get me out of here. Why?
Chelsea. Hello. Hi, how you doing? See your tribe over here. There they are. Hi, how you doing? So nice to see your family. You look so nice.
All right, may I have your attention, please? The time is now 6:43 PM, and this meeting of the Klein ISD Board of Trustees is reconvened. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, Trustee Dustin Qualls will lead us in prayer, and Trustee Doug James will lead us in pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flag. Please stand.
Please join me in prayer. Dear humble and gracious Lord, we come before you tonight, thanking you for all of the blessings you have bestowed upon us over this past school year. Lord, we ask you to join us in celebration of nearly 4,500 Klein ISD graduates that walked across the stage last weekend. Please provide our students with guidance, protection, and comfort as they fulfill their purpose in life. Please bless our wonderful teachers and all Klein ISD staff, Lord, as they recharge this summer in anticipation of the next school year. May our decisions tonight reflect a dedication to continuous improvement, a deep passion for learning, and unwavering support for our students, teachers, and staff. Please guide us all in our mission, Lord, to create an inspiring environment for all. Because it is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I was told that we have a scout, Joshua Hoover. I guess we don't. So I'll lead you in Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you again for joining us for tonight's meeting. Your presence is meaningful to this board and to the students, educators, and community members that we'll be recognizing this evening. If you could please take this moment to silence your cell phones. Klein ISD is a family with a shared vision that every student in Klein ISD enters with a promise and exits with a purpose. The Board of Trustees does not take lightly the responsibility our community has entrusted to us, and we work diligently with Klein ISD leadership on behalf of every student in our district. Every regular meeting, including tonight's, is an opportunity for the trustees to conduct the district's business and to recognize the achievements of our Klein ISD family. The great work that happens every day in Klein ISD is something that we are proud of and want to recognize and share with the community. We conduct our school board meetings in accordance with Texas law. So, for example, we cannot vote on any item that is not listed on the agenda, and we may not publicly discuss items that do not appear on the agenda. All of our voting must be in public, but we can privately discuss items regarding personnel, the discipline of students, acquisition of school sites, matters of school safety and security, and specific items requiring legal advice. However, the final vote must be in complete view of the public. Please understand this meeting is for the board to have discussion, deliberate, and take action. And the agenda and notice of meeting are distributed to each trustee 1 week before our regular monthly meeting. If individual board members have questions, we often call the superintendent prior to the meeting. Therefore, on many items that are recommended for approval, the trustees can quickly determine if they agree. If it seems like we're moving quickly through the agenda, it's because we're prepared to make a decision without further discussion or questions. We're going to move on now to a report on the 89th legislative session and an update on the 2025-2026 budget.
Thank you, President Ellis, and good evening, everyone. It's always so nice to have our Klein family together to celebrate our students, our staff, and our community's collective efforts for our tradition of excellence that we continue on here in Klein ISD. Tonight, we have our 8th report on the 89th legislative session and its impact on the Klein ISD. To provide that report, we have our Chief of Staff, Dana Hernandez, and our Chief Financial Officer, Dan Schaefer, who will bring a complete update on the progress of the board-adopted legislative priorities and the outcomes, highlights, I guess we shall say, of the work that was done related to those priorities in the 89th session.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, trustees and Klein family. For tonight's legislative update number 8, we will provide an update to the board, you all, and our public in efforts to advance our board-adopted Klein ISD legislative priorities and to secure the necessary funding to provide high-quality instruction for our students in which they deserve every day. First of all, I'm going to go through each priority, and we're going to talk first of all about these in reverse order, starting with transparency and accountability. House Bill 4, which was a bill to overhaul the state STAR assessment and the accountability A through F system, went through various iterations of the House and the Senate, but ultimately died in committee, which means the state and state testing and accountability will remain the same as is. Next, on safety and security. First up is House Bill 6, the school discipline bill. This will become a new law unless it's vetoed by the governor. It gives school districts more flexibility in addressing disruptive behavior and dangerous student behaviors, as well as telehealth and increased mental health services. A few more key items to include in this bill are the ability to assign out-of-school suspension for pre-K through second grade students. Expulsions extend to off-campus offenses. The ability to assign remote instruction to students who are assigned to the DAEP, and no longer requiring DAEP for students who vape in school. The PROTECT Act, which was written in collaboration with Representative Sam Harless, died in committee without a hearing. However, we will continue to keep fighting for this legislation that ensures outside law enforcement are required to notify school district police anytime an employee is being investigated for a potentially criminal behavior impacting the safety of our children and for future legislative sessions. Next up, looking at I for innovation, a couple of bills which became new law. Again, first is Senate Bill 569, which pertains to virtual education. This will allow school districts to deliver virtual instruction in a variety of ways to our students. We have ensured that this is not like it was during the COVID time, which was Klein Online, but this is something completely different, so we'll be learning more about this, as well as House Bill 1481, which is known as the cell phone ban policy, which will ban the use of cell phones in classrooms and require them to be placed in a secure, out-of-sight area during instruction. The rest of the legislative priorities have landed under the funding and the passage of House Bill 2, which is also known as the school funding bill. As these new laws take effect, we will continue to train our staff members and communicate information to all of our parents and community members. So now I'm going to turn the rest of this report over to our Chief Financial Officer, Dan Schaefer, to give more information about the impact of House Bill 2 on school funding and our budget.
Thank you, Dana. House Bill 2 has become law as it was signed by the governor and is officially what school district will be used moving forward for the funding formulas. Statewide, it was a rather significant increase, $8.5 billion to public education. That averages out over $4.25 billion per year because this is a 2-year budget. The bulk of it is tied to a teacher retention incentive allotment, which is for teachers with 3+ years of experience, along with a raise for non-administrative staff. In addition, investments are being made into safety, career and technical education, and other specific programs. Special education funding will receive a sizable bump, but that won't take effect until the following year in 2026-27. This is one of the areas that Klein ISD outlined as a priority. We're happy to see that this underfunded mandate of nearly $50 million annually for Klein ISD will be funded more this upcoming cycle in 26-27. The exact numbers are not known at this point because the Commissioner of Education is responsible for determining how those will be allocated. So before we jump into the school funding for Klein ISD, I just think it's important to put things in perspective as some big numbers are being shared. Keep in mind that it's been 6 years since any significant funding improvements have been made to the formulas. In the session before this, $4 billion was allocated for public education, but zero was distributed. So significant was needed just to really catch up. In addition, inflation since 2019, per the Texas Comptroller, is running at 25.8%. So just keep these numbers in mind as we look at how this session impacted Klein ISD's funding. So just to keep up with the 25.8% inflation, we would need at least $1,500 per student annually. And really, it's just a simple math problem by taking the current $6,160 per student, multiply it times 25% or 0.25. What we received as far as locally controlled funding to deal with inflation is $232 per student, comprised of $55 additionally for the basic allotment, and now a new basic cost allotment. Don't ask me for sure what the differences are, but $106 per enrolled student, along with $70 for all other. And this totals about $12.1 million annually for Klein ISD, or equates to $232 per student. And we are very grateful for the additional funding, but really the math demonstrates that this increase of 3.7% will not solve our inflationary issues facing districts over the last several years. The remaining 59% of the additional funding is comprised of what we consider pass-through funding for the teacher raises and staff compensation for non-administrators. So before we get into more specifics, I do want to say thanks to the board and superintendent in collaboration with district leadership and our hardworking finance team that Klein ISD continues to be in better financial position than most to handle the financial hurdles created by the lack of funding and inflationary pressures. As you all know, Klein ISD has received several awards for excellence in fiscal management, including consecutive years in recognition for financial reporting, budgeting, and purchasing from various third-party agencies. Dr. McGowan added that, and I had to say it, but thank you. All right. So as we prepare for the 25-26 budget, it's key to know the assumptions that we're using. We are assuming stable enrollment. Property value growth per the Harris County Appraisal District is running at 2.8%. The additional $40,000 homestead exemption you might have seen did pass the House and Senate and will be signed by the governor. However, that does require a statewide vote from our taxpayers. And so that won't be known until November. And if that does pass by the voters, we will amend the budget to reflect that change. We've also included known provisions in House Bill 2, including the additional revenues as we can calculate so far, along with the required expenditures. And this budget assumes no change in the current tax rate of a little over $1. As you can see, the tax rate has decreased significantly since 2018. However, moving forward, the property tax relief focus from the state is really on the additional homestead exemptions instead of tax rate reductions, which is why we're anticipating a flat rate for next year. Looking at our neighbor districts, our rate is very, very competitive. So this is our plug for Klein ISD. Continue to tell your friends and family, especially those that have school-aged children, to come to Klein, because we are funded on a per-student basis. Next, we'll look at property value trends. With the significant increases in property values over the years, we figured at some point things would begin to slow down, and we're beginning to see that. We are 90% built out, so most of the new growth is going to be based on current values growing. So looking back to 2023 was the last time there was an increase to the homestead exemption. That exemption increased from $40,000 to $100,000, and it was approved by the voters in November of 2023. That impact to our tax base was a reduction of $3 billion and is reflected on this in these amounts above for the 2023 year. Prior to the homestead exemption being passed, the actual value growth for that year was 11.63%, which was a pretty significant bump in a single year. So that definitely did make an impact. So this next one, the preliminary certified values that we received in the last week of April came in at 2.8% growth over prior year. And so we adjusted our future projections to 2% value growth for the next 3 years. If the additional $40,000 homestead exemption is passed statewide, the anticipated taxable value decrease would be about $2 billion impacted by that change. As we have, believe it or not, 60,000 homesteads in Klein ISD. We have a little over 100,000 taxable properties, and 60,000 of them are homesteads, which makes sense. We're rooftop communities, and primarily are used for their personal residence. So looking back at 24-25, we have made some changes to implement some cost-saving measures across the district. This included department reductions totaling $2.35 million, which is about a 4.3% reduction. We did go through a rezoning process by right-sizing those campuses. That did yield significant savings of about $6.4 million. We rolled off the supplemental ESSER positions that we carried for a while to help address learning loss. That reduction was about $6.7 million in the final stage. And then adding Klein Forest as a Title I campus, making them eligible to receive federal funding, allowed us to relieve the general fund for funding that we were required to provide since they weren't designated as a Title I campus. That was about $3.1 million. And then during this school year, through board-approved budget amendments, we've been able to reduce the adopted deficit by $6 million. And finally, the budget to actual variance for 24-25 appears to be coming in stronger than historical trend, meaning we're not spending as much as what was budgeted. This means the campuses and departments are doing a good job of prioritizing their spending to allow us to come in under. Some of the budget highlights for the upcoming year include the additional state funding, further reductions in our expenditures, and planned spending from our fund balance to cover the shortfall. The estimated House Bill 2 revenue is $29.4 million, and so just dividing that, everyone seems to be looking at it per student now, and so we've added that information there, $563 per enrolled student. House Bill 2 expenditures of $17.3 million, or $331 per student. So you can do the math if you want to, but 59% of the new money has additional spending requirements. So thank you for the money, and we get to spend it in certain ways. And we agree with the ways, it's just the flexible funding piece of it is what seems to be a concern. Interest earnings, unfortunately, you might be seeing this as well. Interest rates are dropping a bit, and so our interest earnings are anticipated to decrease about $2.3 million. We have no changes to staffing formulas at the campus level, so maintaining those. Funding for special programs related to growth, like special education, dyslexia, gifted and talented. We funded all the growth-related areas. And additionally, departments were able to identify some additional reductions of $1.41 million, or 2.5%, including things like renegotiating some contracts, consolidating various applications, and so just trying to streamline those areas. Unfortunately, it was largely offset by some costs that are outside of our direct control. Electricity annually is going up $2.7 million, and our garbage, that luxury item to have your garbage picked up a few times a week, is going up $214,000. We are reducing our annual proposed deficit. So last year we adopted a $33.7 million. This year's proposal would have a $21 million deficit. So we are making progress towards getting back to a balanced budget, which was the goal. Included in your board packet are the proposed budgets for general fund, debt service, and food service, as well as the required posting in the newspaper for consideration later in the meeting. Thank you for your support of our students, staff, and community in Klein, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dan. I've got just one quick question. I'm assuming all of the new bills that passed, the new laws, et cetera, those are all going to be in effect, is it September 1 this year for the 25-26 school year?
Unless stated otherwise. So typically they are 9/1 start. They could be earlier or later depending on how it was written. But the ones that House Bill 2 would be in effect for 9/1 for sure.
Got it. Thank you.
And it's still by not enrollment, by attendance, or is it?
So the maybe no the main components, yes, are still based on average daily attendance. We have one new enrollment piece, which is the basic cost allotment, and so that one was done on enrollment. So there is some hope, and so that was one of the things that we came out of this session, is that the conversation has started regarding going to enrollment-based funding, which is a huge plus. We're hoping that could get more movement next session, because that is a big change from the state perspective. It matches how private schools are going to be funded with vouchers. It's enrollment-based in their situation. We feel that would be appropriate for public schools as well. And so it was a good move. It was a start. We just have some more work to do in the next session.
One more quick question, again, relating back to my previous question. The reason I was asking that was, I know you didn't touch on this, and we've belabored this, the Senate bill to death at this point. But the voucher program, that, I've seen deferring dates of when that begins. Is that beginning the 25-26 school year, or is that 26-27?
26-27.
Okay, great, thank you.
Dan, how many teachers do we have that have 3+ years that actually, the money?
81% of our current teaching, yes.
My question is there's a lot of uncertainty around some of the definitions of some of these laws. Is there going to be further clarification on exactly what some of these mean in terms of the definitions of of what they actually are talking about, length of time?
There needs to be, yes, sir. There's some differences in like just terminology, half day. Well, what's a half day? Is that 4 hours? Not in the school district, because depending on the full-time equivalent of the personnel, it could be a 7.5-hour day, it could be a 7-hour day. Right. And so there's some details that need to be worked through to determine who's eligible for the funding. Does a half-time teacher also be eligible for the, and would it be at half? I would think it would be, but there needs to be some clarity there because they put a stipulation in that it said 4 hours. Okay, well, let me see how that works out. So we need to work through the details on that piece of it to make sure, one, we maximize it. We want to make sure we get everything we can for our teachers. And two, we want to make sure that what we do commit to pay, we're also receiving the funds for. Because we don't want to put the district in a situation where we're having to cover additional costs that we're not going to receive funding.
Thank you.
Was there any guidance about the allotment enrollment with this new virtual education bill, how that would work? I mean, if people are...
Not yet. That one is very new when it comes to conceptually. So I think the commissioner has some time to be able to work through and make sure there's no unintended consequences. He has a lot of authority when it comes to developing how it's going to be implemented and utilized. And so it's intended to be beneficial for districts. We just need to be closely watching how it's being potentially administered out and make sure we can maximize it for the benefit of our students.
Other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate you, Mr. Schaefer and Ms. Hernandez, all your excellent work. Dr. McGowan, I think we're ready for recognition of results.
Yes, sir, and we want to say thank you to this board for the legislative priorities that you all adopted and worked so diligently to advance throughout the session. And I want to say thank you to our community. This is the most engaged I have ever seen our community be in a legislative session, advocating for funding, advocating for bills that would become laws that would positively impact the life of our students. And I want to say thank you to the entire community for lifting your voice on behalf of our students and staff in Klein ISD. Our first recognition tonight, as we kick off the recognition of results for the AAA, is for athletics. And to bring that recognition, I'm very happy to welcome our outstanding Assistant Director for Athletics, Mr. Derek Coots, who is going to introduce our top state-winning athletes in track and field.
Good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding, and the Klein family. I have the great privilege of recognizing two exceptional student athletes whose performances at the UIL 6A State Track and Field Championship brought great pride to this Klein family. At this time, we ask Andrew Jones from Klein Collins and Nyla Hugo from Klein Cain to please come forward, along with their coaches, Coach John Patterson and Coach Danielle Paley, so we may honor you. We also invite the following campus leaders to join us at the front in the celebration of these state award-winning athletes. Klein Collins Principal Randy Kirk, Klein Cain Principal Lauren Marty, and Campus Athletic Director from Klein-Cain, James Clancy. First, we recognize Andrew Jones, a junior from Klein Collins High School, who made history this season by becoming a double medal state champion. Andrew captured gold medals in both the 110-meter hurdles and 300-meter hurdles. Andrew has established himself as a rising star in the world of track and field and a name to watch in Texas athletics. Congratulations, Andrew, on your remarkable achievements. Thank you to Coach Patterson for your instruction, support provided to Andrew and the Klein Collins team. Now we turn our attention to Klein-Cain High School, where sophomore Nyla Hugo delivered an exceptional performance at the UIL State Track and Field Meet. With the pressure on, now she was in third, okay? I don't think she liked bronze. With the pressure on and just one throw remaining in the girls' discus, Nyla unleashed her best throw of the meet, earning herself a silver medal. Congratulations, Nyla, on your accomplishment, and for Coach Paley for your dedication and teaching provided to Nyla to achieve this goal. Please join me in celebrating Andrew Jones and Nyla Hugo, our 2025 UL state medalists, and their dedicated coaches for their winning performances at the state meet. If you are here as a family, friends of these exceptional athletes, please stand so we may honor you for your dedication and support. President Ellis and Dr. McGowan, we welcome you to the front to join our student athletes and coaches for a commemorative photo.
That is amazing. It's fun to hear jingling medals as you walk around, like jingle bells. Gotta wear those around the house. Very good. Dr. McGowan.
Yes, I love when we start the recognition of results because the entire room just starts to collectively smile. It's wonderful to see our kids win and to see their supportive families here and their outstanding coaches and staff that love and support them year-round. We couldn't be more proud. We'll continue the celebrations, this time turning to academics. It's my joy to welcome back our Chief of Staff, Dana Hernandez, who is going to recognize a truly outstanding school in Klein ISD that just continues to win award after award after award for being the best of the best in academic achievement.
It's so fun to celebrate. And this evening, good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding, and our Klein family. What an honor it is to tonight to recognize a shining example of, once again, educational excellence here in Klein ISD. We are celebrating the Niche Elementary as another winning academic excellence for the way that they lead children to academic achievement and excellence in their school. They are being named Houston's most inspiring schools by Good Reason Houston, receiving the distinguished title of Houston School That Inspires. At this time, I invite Principal Frank Ward, along with Principal Leonard Castleberry, and the wonderful Niche leadership team to please come up and join us up front so that we can honor you for the excellence that you all lead every single day for our students at Niche Elementary. This right here. 2 more friends who would like to come up. This right here is what we call the dream team. So ladies, please come because you all are outstanding. I watch you teach in these classrooms and the magic you create is absolutely wonderful. That's right. As one of only 4 schools in the Houston area to receive this award, Niche Elementary proudly celebrates its staff dedication and students' hard work. This school's continued academic success reflects a powerful transformation driven by intentional, incremental changes that have led to lasting and sustainable improvement. This academic achievement stands as a powerful reminder that every child has an opportunity to succeed with the right tools and the right supports and the right people. Congratulations, Mr. Ward, Mr. Castleberry, the dream team of Niche Elementary, for the way you all lead every day and the example you set forth in our Klein family. We are all so thankful and so proud of the work you do every single day and the way that you lead our students to academic and overall success in their school. Congratulations, we're so proud of you. Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, if you join us up front for a photo.
First National Blue Ribbon School for an elementary in Klein ISD history, Niche Elementary, and they just continue to be a beacon of hope for our entire Houston area, for our state, and our nation. Let's give it up for one more big round of applause for them. I love it when people prove what's possible for kids. Makes my heart happy. Next up, we're going to celebrate our continued tradition of excellence in the arts. I'm very happy to welcome our outstanding Director of Fine Arts, Mr. Frank Shooter, who is going to come forward and celebrate a national recognition for Klein ISD.
Well, thank you, and good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding, Klein family. I am proud to announce that for the 18th time overall, and the 14th consecutive year that the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation has named Klein ISD one of the best communities of music education in the nation. Something that's not in the script is one of the reasons, I'm sure, why we've been named this so long is for students like Mr. Leonard Castleberry, who was the drum major for Klein Forest High School Band. So, I mean, I think we're doing something right, you know? So for the past 25 years, the NAM Foundation has honored school districts that demonstrate an unwavering commitment to music education. This recognition highlights the exceptional efforts of our teachers, administrators, parents, students, and community leaders who champion music as a vital part of a well-rounded education. As we celebrate Klein ISD's recognition once again as the best communities for music education, I'd like to take a moment to spotlight the dedicated educators who represent the passion and excellence of our fine arts programs. These individuals exemplify the heart and soul of music education in our Klein family, and we are incredibly blessed to have them. So many of them are enjoying their summer vacation right now, and I don't blame them. But we have two here today that we want to say thank you to, and really they stand for all of our music educators across the district, elementary, intermediate school, and high school. So Keegan Fenton, Klein Intermediate Head Choir Director. And product of Klein ISD, Carly Galloway, Wunderlich Intermediate Head Director for orchestra. So congratulations to each of you on this incredible achievement. You represent all of your music colleagues. Your hard work, talent, and dedication have once again shown why Klein ISD is the place for fine arts. Not a place, but the place. Your entire Klein family is proud of you and your colleagues, and we are thrilled to celebrate with you tonight. If you're here as a guest of one of these remarkable educators or the support system of one of these remarkable educators, please stand so that we can recognize you as well. At this time, President Ellis, Dr. McGowan, please join us for a photo up front.
Thank you, Mr. Shooter, for that recognition. And it really goes to how embedded music is in the district. It's impressive. And it happens even in the summertime. I just dropped off one daughter at 9 a.m. for orchestra camp. And at noon, dropped off another daughter for band camp. And it's just a commitment that the district makes all around to get these kind of great results. So thank you. Dr. McGowan.
And even though he was quick to celebrate other people, we certainly could not do it without our outstanding Fine Arts Director, Frank Shooter. We're very blessed to have you here in Klein leading the program for all of our children and for all of our staff. So thank you for all that you do. It's now my pleasure to welcome our Chief of Human Resources, Dr. Bob Anderson, who will help us to introduce 3 new principals of Klein Schools.
All right. It's my fun time of the year. Good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding, Klein family. Tonight I have the distinct honor of recognizing 3 new school principals to our Klein family. First, we've spoken about him already today. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Leonard Castleberry as the new principal of Niche Elementary. Woo! We are breaking apart the dream team. Mr. Castleberry has served as Dean of Instruction in Niche Elementary, where he played a key role in instructional planning, campus culture, and student achievement growth. He's a passionate leader who values achievement, collaboration, relationships, and excellence in all areas of his school. Mr. Castleberry is making a full circle return, as he was and is the first student at a school to be named principal of that school. He was a student at Niche Elementary first. So that's so exciting. Mr. Castleberry, please stand, be recognized, share a few words, introduce any.
Daughters of Carissa. My oldest is Soraya, 7. Just want to say their age because they're making noise. Maria's 4, and then my almost 2-year-old Nova. And I would also like to recognize my Niche family. Of course, you know them all: Mr. Ward, Ms. Bowles, Ms. Gilbert, Ms. Jones, and Ms. Deese. Just a brief little message of thank you is my main point. Thank you to Dr. McGowan and to the board for the opportunity to serve the community that I grew up in. Thank you, Mr. Ward, for believing in me and allowing me to steal as much brilliance as I can from you. And then, of course, thank you to my wife and family for the support in what we know is far from a typical 9 to 5. But I'm genuinely excited to continue to take next steps at Niche Elementary. Woo!
Next, it's my privilege to introduce Ms. Lisa Mackey as the new principal of Northampton Elementary School. Ms. Mackey serves as the assistant principal at Northampton and has been a 2-time campus teacher of the year, the Klein ISD District Teacher of the Year, Region 4 Teacher of the Year, and a top 5 finalist in the state of Texas for Teacher of the Year. Ms. Mackey has demonstrated her years of leadership through dedication to academic achievement and a very relationship-driven approach throughout her leadership journey. She is deeply committed to fostering a nurturing and innovative learning environment where every student thrives. Ms. Mackey, please share a few words and introduce any guests you have in attendance.
All right, I got a follow-up. He had a long one. I have my wonderful husband here, Travis. I have my 3 daughters, also 3-daughter club. I have Caroline, who's at Northampton with me, Bryn at Hildebrandt, Addison going to Klein Oak. Not ready for that one. I just want to say thank you guys very much for having the faith and just putting your faith in me to be a leader at Northampton. I have had a wonderful leader, Lisa Campbell, who has pushed me, my principal for another week, into these shoes. A lot to follow up with, but I am so excited to lead our community and to continue the great things happening at Northampton.
Okay, and finally, I'm excited to introduce Ms. Stephanie Gray as the new principal of Strock Intermediate School. Ms. Gray brings a wealth of experience in instructional leadership and student success, having served as the assistant principal at Shinderwolf for 11 years. Her commitment to fostering a culture of high expectations and student-centered learning will continue to support the strong academic foundation already in place at Strock. Ms. Gray, please share a few words, introduce any guests you have in attendance.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. McGowan and the board for trusting me and believing me, and cannot be more thrilled to lead Strock. So I do want to introduce my incredibly supportive husband, David. So different than you guys, not a girl mom, I have 4 boys. So I only have 2 of them here today. I have Timothy, who's going to be in 4th grade at Kreinhop, and I have Andrew, who's going to be a senior at Klein Collins, and also Samuel is going to be a senior at Klein Collins as well. So in addition to that, my Shinderwolf family, thank you guys so much for loving me, supporting me, and driving me. Dr. Simmons, Dina Davidson, and Lisa Hightower. And last but not least, thank you so much to Larry Whitehead for taking a chance on me and hiring me as a teacher at Klein High School all those years ago. So thank you all so much.
Congratulations, Mr. Leonard Castleberry, Ms. Lisa Mackey, and Ms. Stephanie Gray. We're so excited for each of you and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson, and congratulations to these 3 outstanding leaders in our Klein family. We are very excited about what's ahead for students and the communities that you serve. They are in very capable, loving, student-focused hands in your care. Our next recognition of the Klein family is for outstanding leaders on our teaching and learning team. To present this recognition is our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Ms. Stacy Kinsfather.
Well, good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, and Ms. Spalding, and Klein family. Klein ISD's Family Engagement Department is honored with the 2025 Anita Villarreal Innovation and Engagement Award, sponsored by the Title I Parent and Family Engagement Statewide Initiative. Klein ISD is proud to be one of only 4 districts in the state to receive this prestigious recognition. Please help me welcome the department leaders of family engagement this evening. Ms. Maria Ovalle Lopez, our director. And Ms. Lisbeth Olmo, our coordinator. These 2 exceptional leaders received this award on behalf of their team. This award recognizes school districts that demonstrate measurable improvements in student outcomes through effective parent and family engagement strategies. As Dr. McGowan says in Klein ISD, we believe that parents are a child's first and forever teachers. Through our Family Engagement Department, we work diligently to nurture those relationships and build collaborative partnerships that support student success. The department collaborates with campuses in the parent university cohort, utilizing a multi-tiered systems of support approach to identify the needs and create meaningful learning opportunities for families that foster their children's growth and development. Congratulations to this award-winning team in our Klein family. We want to take a moment to recognize the families of our honorees tonight. Thank you for your continued support and for being such an integral part of the Klein family. And at this time, Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, if you'd come join us for a group photo.
Finally, we want to welcome back our Chief of Staff, Dana Hernandez, to celebrate our award-winning outstanding Klein ISD communications team.
Great, thank you, Dr. McGowan. This February, several members of our communications team attended the Texas School Public Relations Association, also known as TSPRA, annual conference, where they collaborated with fellow professionals from across the state and engaged in learning centered on the latest best practices in educational communication. TSPRA is a nonprofit professional organization dedicated to sharing stories of public schools through effective communication and marketing strategies. In addition to invaluable professional development opportunities, the TSPRA conference also includes prestigious STAR Awards, not STAR with 2 A's, but 1 A, an annual celebration recognizing the excellence in school communication. I am thrilled to announce that Klein ISD Communications team brought home a total of 22 Public Relations Awards for the 60th Annual TSPRA Awards. Out of 1,662 entries that were submitted from nearly 400 school districts from across Texas, our team earned 15 Gold Awards, 6 Silver Awards, and for the first time, a Crystal Award, one of TSPRA's highest honors. This is yet another record-breaking year for our department and a powerful testament to the extraordinary work this team consistently delivers every single day, whether producing compelling stories, managing urgent communications with care and precision, or designing campaigns that celebrate our students and staff. This team pours their heart and soul and countless hours into every detail to make the Klein family as special as it really is. Let me emphasize this without hesitation. This Klein ISD communications team stands as a shining example of excellence in Texas. And their outstanding work is earning the well-deserved recognition on a national scale. They are all the voices behind the stories that we get to share in our Klein family, the steady hands in times of urgency, and the architects of the district's identity. They ensure that Klein ISD's messages resonate with authenticity and the impact through clarity, consistency, and purpose. It is both a privilege and a joy to get to collaborate with these talented and passionate individuals every single day. So at this time, please help me to welcome several members of our team that are here. Terencia Lee. Jessica Williams. Oh, good. Several of them are always behind the scenes running. So I saw the name. I'm like, I hope she comes from behind the studio. Izzy Reyna. Marlon Torres. We have 3 alumni here. Jessica, Izzy, and Marlon are all Klein ISD alum, which is really cool for them to come back and share not only the experiences they had as students, but to be able to share the experiences professionally with our school district. Carrie Jernigan. Another Klein ISD alum, Jasmine Wynn. Director Chelsea Ceballos. Nicole Mitchell, Assistant Director. And Executive Director Justin Albert. I should have let us in the one clap, but you know, they deserve all of this because they really are remarkable people. Their professionalism, dedication, and creativity elevate the voice of Klein ISD. Their work not only informs and inspires, but also strengthens the connection between our schools and the community we're privileged to serve. So at this time, Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, it'd be a privilege for you all to come up and get a group photo with this awesome team. Well, who's gonna take the picture? Oh, that's right. I was like, who will take the picture? Lisa, and please help me recognize Donica Condon, who's our assistant on health.
You're doing double duty.
Let's go.
Thank you, Ms. Mackey, for filling in. Excellent. And thank you, Dr. McGowan, for this incredible staff that you lead here in Klein ISD. And Ms. Hernandez, that really is a great team. That's another dream team. The dreams just keep going. Okay. Trustees, our next item is in recognition of an outstanding alum of Klein ISD that requires our action tonight. And that item is the consideration and request for approval for naming the Klein High School Sylvester Turner Wall of Honor in recognition of the late Congressman, former Houston Mayor, Texas State Representative, and Klein High School alum Sylvester Turner. May I have a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes 7-0. And Dr. McGowan, I understand that we have some family members and friends from the Turner family here with us tonight.
That's correct, President Ellis, and thank you to the board for just approving this wonderful, well-deserved recognition of one of, if not the most outstanding alum of Klein ISD. We are so happy that this will be a part of the Klein High School experience now for everybody to remember our late Congressman Turner. And I understand that the late Congressman's daughter, Ashley, is here, and we would like to invite you forward to say a few words.
So thank you, Dr. McGowan, President Ellis, and the Board of Trustees. My name is Ashley Turner Captain. I am the late Congressman Sylvester Turner's daughter. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my amazing husband, Jimmy Captain, my dad's baby sister, Jacqueline Turner, my dad's chief of staff, Marvelette Hunter, and our family friend, Dr. Alton Smith. Today is so bittersweet for so many reasons, but my dad was a firm believer in education and how teachers mold a child and give a child the stepping stone to success. During my time of grieving and me just reflecting, I've often wondered if the young man that started at Klein High School, that later became valedictorian and also Mr. Klein, knew that one day he would become a state representative, a mayor, and later on a congressman. My hope and my prayer is that by you honoring my father in such a prestigious way, that you show current and future students of Klein that they can dream big. And one of the favorite quotes of my dad that he used to always say is, if you can dream it, you can do it. So thank you for making his dreams come true. Thank you.
Wonderful remarks. Thank you, Ashley, for joining us and for allowing us to recognize your father's great contribution to our community. And the dreams continue. Perfect. As long as everyone's okay, we'll keep moving. Trustees, we're going to move on to the final recognition for the evening to honor the service of outgoing trustee Chris Todd. After nearly 8 years of service on the Board of Trustees, we'd like to consider the resolution to proclaim June 9th, 2025 as Chris Todd Day in Klein, Texas. Secretary Qualls, can you please read the resolution we have for consideration?
President Ellis, it's my honor to do so. Whereas Mr. Chris C.T. Todd was elected to the Klein ISD Board of Trustees in November 2018, marking the beginning of a remarkable journey as a board member dedicated to the promise and purpose of every student. Whereas Mr. Todd's commitment to the cause of education has spanned a lifetime as a proud Klein ISD alumni, always demonstrating a desire to continuously improve and grow and embracing the vital role of a school board member. Whereas his passion for excellence and results have exemplified his unwavering commitment to serving students, parents, teachers, and administrators alike by inspiring, coaching, and encouraging so many, ensuring that the needs of all learners were met with empathy and foresight. Whereas for 7 years, Mr. Todd has tirelessly and faithfully served the Klein ISD Board of Trustees, profoundly impacting the lives of countless students and staff through genuinely living up to the ideals of a promise-to-purpose investor and ensuring our continued tradition of excellence in academics, the arts, and athletics. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Board of Trustees of the Klein Independent School District, along with our superintendent, do hereby proclaim June 9th, 2025 as Chris Todd Day in Klein, Texas. We do so in recognition of Trustee Todd's selfless service to the Klein ISD and its students, and we extend to him all the privileges and honors deserving of this momentous occasion. Granted this 9th day of June 2025 by the Board of Trustees of Klein Independent School District, as we thank Mr. Todd for his dedication, passion, and enduring legacy of leadership within our community. We honor him as an embodiment of the values that propel education forward, and for the indelible mark he has left on the lives of our students and the hearts of all who have had the privilege of knowing and serving alongside him.
Wonderful. Trustees, may I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I so move.
Okay, motioned and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Dr. McGowan, we're ready to continue the recognition of Mr. Todd.
Chris Todd is a humble man, and I'm sure is not enjoying all of this attention being focused on him. But since it is now officially Chris Todd Day, and there's nothing you can do about it, sir, we have another special recognition of appreciation that we'd like to share in honor of Mr. Todd tonight. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Landon Reed on behalf of Precinct 3 Commissioner Tom Rienzi, who's going to come forward and present you with your items of appreciation for your service.
So, I told Justin to make this go black all over this where we have no power in a few minutes before I can start talking, since I've got 13 other school districts. But to start off talking about Todd, which I go way back with Todd, worked with him the whole time. It's going to be tough working in Klein without Todd. It goes to Klein and where y'all stand. And don't take this back to Tomball on there. But, you know, when I call Klein for emergency, when I call Klein about a constituent, you guys answer the call. There's not, let's discuss this, it's how are we going to do it. Chris Todd is that type of person. If it was me working on it, on a situation, Chris one of the first ones I'd call for the Klein area. I'm going to get emotional on you here. He gets emotional on me. At the same time, Chris is always going to call me first. And it's not always a school thing. It's sometimes with the church, sometimes with a community member. We've worked on homeless situations. We've worked on people that couldn't even afford rent and different things he's passed on my way, all the way to issues that were with our parks and our roads and bridges across the board. Always trying to keep the community safe, do something for the community members. Chris, I told you I did not give you the permission to leave. You didn't come to me. But since you have, you know, Commissioner is a big part of this, really wanting to make sure we came out here for you. It shows a lot in the school district when you have somebody that is like Chris Todd. A church background, sometimes people frown upon bringing into a school district. My commissioner and myself, we don't. We think that adds to the family and the situation what the community needs. And having that kind of leadership here, I hope somebody's going to step up and really take the call from you, Chris. Because nobody will understand the behind the scenes that you've done across the board for Klein. The Honorable Harris County Precinct 3 Commissioner Tom S. Ramsey, PE, hereby recognizes Chris Todd for outstanding service to the community, June 9th, 2025. As Precinct 3 Commissioner of Harris County, Texas, on behalf of the constituents of Harris County, it is my honor to recognize and congratulate Chris Todd for your outstanding service to the Klein community. As a lifelong resident of Klein, your remarkable contributions have made a lasting impact that will be a legacy for generations to come. Your wisdom, compassion, and zeal for enriching the lives of students have raised the standard for Klein ISD Board of Trustees. Thank you for playing your part in making Harris County a better place to live. Our constituents and I are proud of your work and wish you continued success in everything you set your hands to accomplish in the new chapter of your new life. Tom S. Ramsey. And he'd be here, but he's in Dallas. So he wants to grab
Mr. Reed, thank you for that presentation and for being here and for everything you and Commissioner Ramsey do for our area. We appreciate it. All right, Mr. Todd, would you like to come forward and say a few words?
Sure. I took the time to write it down because I was afraid that there'd be no telling what I said otherwise. We might be here a while. But before I start, Ms. Reitmeyer, you sure look good there. I think it's perfectly fit for you. So thank you for.
It's an honor.
Thank you for that. President Ellis, Dr. McGowan, members of the board, and Ms. Spalding. I always wanted to say that. Listen, as I step down from the school board, I say I'm filled with gratitude for this incredible community that has been my home for virtually my entire life. Klein isn't just where I served, it's where I grew up, it's where I raised my family, and it's where I've watched generations of students learn, grow, and succeed. My time on the board has been exceptionally rewarding. I've seen so many students enter with a promise and exit with a purpose, working alongside dedicated educators and passionate parents and community members has reminded me daily why Klein is such an exceptional place. Together, we've faced challenges and celebrated victories and always kept students at the center of every decision. My prayer is that you will continue to do so. It is what actually makes Klein such a special place. Board members, thank you for your partnership, your wisdom, and your unwavering dedication to our students. Principals and teachers, thank you for your tireless work, for trusting us to support your mission, and for working so many hours for our students. To our support staff, one last time, especially the perimeter people, thank you for being willing to work behind the scenes. Your work is necessary, and it is what allows our students to succeed. Ms. Spalding, thank you for using your incredible vast knowledge to make sure we always follow the letter of the law. And Dr. McGowan, thank you for being willing to use everything you have for the good of our students every day. Most will never see what I've seen, how much you care and how much you love the students of Klein, how you literally go without sleep thinking about how to make sure every student gets every opportunity possible for a great education. To the parents of our community and members, to the parents and community members, thank you for partnering with us with your child's education, and thank you for the trust you've put in me over the last 7 years. I've not taken that granted, and I hope that I've honored that commitment. Most importantly, thank you to the students of Klein. You're why I've done this work. Watching you achieve your dreams and beyond has been the greatest privilege and reward of this service. As I move on, I'm confident that Klein's best days are ahead. The community's commitment to excellence in education runs deep, and I know it will continue to flourish. Now, God bless you, Klein, and know that this will always be home.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Chris, for your service, your friendship, and all the things you've done for so long for Klein ISD. We're going to take a photo with you and your family at the intermission, which will happen shortly on the agenda. Before taking the intermission, we are at the point where we'll recognize scouts. I believe we have a scout who is in attendance. You could stand up and share with us the information there on the slide. That would be great.
My name is Joshua Hoover. I'm from Troop 1550. I am from Klein Collins, and today we're going for citizenship in the community.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here. And during intermission, you can get your certificate from Ms. Christine Jackson right over here on my right. We'll now take an intermission to allow the board to meet all of our honored guests. The time is now 7:47 p.m. Way to rub it in. May I have your attention, please? What else left? The time is now 8 o'clock, and we are ready to reconvene this meeting of the Klein ISD Board of Trustees. We have item 12, consideration approval to schedule a public meeting to discuss the 2025-2026 proposed budget. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 13, consideration and request for approval of the project initiation for the 2025 Safety, Security, and Life Cycle Project. May I have a motion?
I so move.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next, we have consideration and request for approval of the contractor for the 2025 various elementary safety handrails project. May I have a motion?
I so move. Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to state, because I want to give August kudos, he brought it in under what he asked us for originally by over $100,000.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0 and $100,000 under budget. We are now on item 15, consideration and request for approval of the hearing officer recommendation regarding the level 3 DGBA complaint macheta. May I have a motion?
I move that the board adopt the hearing officer's recommendation in the matter of the DGBA complaint of Ms. Machetta.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motioned and seconded. Any discussion?
I actually have had a lot of heartfelt prayer about this one. The fact that the salutation on the second decision letter was to the wrong person is really bothering me. We can do better than that. We can do better. And I think that needs to be definitely something that is checked before any other documentations go out.
Any other discussion? Thank you. Okay, those in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Motion passes 6-1. Next, we have the consideration and request for approval of budget review number 3. May I have a motion? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
We're going down. It's reducing.
Good. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Now for the consent agenda. Are there any items you wish to remove from the consent agenda?
There are none.
And I have none. Those in favor? Any opposed? The consent agenda passes by consensus. Moving on to calendar review. Happy summer to all of our staff and students. And our next regular board meeting will be on Monday, July 14th, 2025, as the next regular board meeting. Okay, we'll move on to comments. We'll start over here with Mr. Doug James.
I'm excited about today. Today was a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Hit the AAAs once again. Legislative report kind of, had some goodness in it, but had a whole lot of things that were unclear about it. And we hope that moving forward we could get some more clarity and at least deal the cards that were play the cards that were dealt. So, great meeting. I'm excited about Sylvester Turner and what we're going to do for him. Excited about the new principalships, and excited about Georgianne rejoining us. What a wonderful thing that is. thank you, Georgianne, for coming back and doing what you do best, serve.
Wonderful. Ms. Morrison.
I want to congratulate the new principals. I know they're excited and ready to hit the ground running. I also want to say to the teachers, I hope you have a great summer. I think it'll go by way too fast. But the good news is 81% of you got a little bit of money coming to you. And I would say, looking at the budget, at least we're making progress in the right direction.
Mr. Qualls.
Still on a high from last weekend. Close to 4,500 new graduates hitting the world with Klein background. Just seeing the faces, being on that stage is such a privilege. To see the faces of these kids and these students walking across. They're completely ecstatic. You can just see the promise in their face. You can see the excitement, the next chapters in their life. It's something I don't take for granted. I love being there for all 5 ceremonies. It's unbelievable. But great job, great job, communications team, everybody that had a hand involved with graduation. I can't thank you enough. It's just a fantastic day. We'll miss Chris Todd immensely. He's been a great leader, a great mentor, just a great person. Georgianne, you were on your way out. I was on my way in. I had no dream I'd ever get to sit at this table with you, so I'm very excited about that, even if it's a short, temporary time. So looking forward to that. Welcome. Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you.
Ms. Arlano.
I don't really need a microphone, but I'll try. I want to do a congratulations to all the people with graduation that were involved. As an administrator that was over graduation for many, many years, you have no idea all of the work that goes into the production that we saw. When you have 4,000 to 4,500 kids and the respect that they showed for their own friends, but the respect that they showed for those principals was amazing. And just hats off to them, because that is, there were no cartwheels, there were no toe touches, and every kid showed respect. And with that, I want to add, I don't know of another superintendent, and I've known many, that have stood and shook every kid's hand, not only standing the entire time, but in heels. So I commend you, Jenny, that you're doing an amazing job, and every kid had the respect of you, for you, and for all of that administration. And to me, that's wonderful. For Chris, well, welcome, Georgianne, back on this side. I just want y'all to see, we are now outnumbering the guys. I was here last year by myself. So, yes. So, and when I told her that, she said, I've already done that. I went, okay. But I do want to say that the one thing about Chris is that we will miss him. Chance is really going to miss him, because he doesn't have his normal time of, he loves his shoes, he loves his hair. And I guarantee you, if he were standing here right now, I'd be giving him a raise. So, yeah, so it was a great day in Klein. That's it.
Ms. Peters.
Yeah, so this was a great meeting, lots of emotions, kind of almost hard to keep it together sometimes, but it was a great night, and I am super excited for all the things. The AAAs, it is one of my dreams to continue being mentored by this amazing woman right here, so I am so happy for the few months that I get to sit here and learn from the best. I am very appreciative of that. I will miss Chris. I will miss him keeping me calm and cool and laughing. I will miss that very much. And graduation, my first graduation, I loved every minute of it. It doesn't matter what else goes on and what else happens. It's all worth it to sit there and watch those kids. It is the moment of their life where they're going to go do great things. And it is amazing to be a part of that and to see the crowd and the parents. That's so awesome too. And I thank everyone here and here for the great graduation. It was incredible. I had no idea really what to expect, and it was one of the best days.
Wonderful. Ms. Reitmeyer.
Well, I want to, if I can work this, hold it. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to be back. It's an honor. And I faithfully prayerfully commit to keep the focus on students and teachers, and to be a person who looks for solutions rather than, I want to build on the foundation in which we have. And I think it's a real privilege to serve with a team of 8, and that includes our superintendent, who has integrity and heart and leads with such excellence that we can support her in her efforts and her love for this district. And secondly, I had the privilege of taking a tour, leading a tour, or bringing a tour to the bridge with the former special education retirees. And we got, they were so impressed. They said they never dreamed that something like this could occur in Klein ISD. Specifically, the distribution opportunity that these students have. So look out, HEB and Amazon, they're coming prepared. And we talk about pathways all the time. And this just enables us to find a connection for students at school, both a lifetime or a school passion, pathway and connection, but also for a lifetime. And this creates a legacy that they will replicate, that they will continue. And so it was just an exciting day to see we retirees just rejoice. The bistro, of course, that the Klein Education Foundation funded was fun and joy, and I just thought this could never happen in public school. And specifically for Klein ISD, their buttons were popping. So thank you again for all the efforts on that, in that regard, and thank you for welcoming me back. So I'm committed.
Definitely committed. I don't know if there's many people who are more committed to Klein ISD than Ms. Reitmeyer. And it's just the mark of a true servant leader who's given 18 years to this district, many more than that, but 18 years as a board member, and then to be willing to answer the call and come help fill this period when you could be doing so many other things. But we appreciate that, and Tom, and the sacrifice of your family. Just want to echo the comments on graduation. I know that was a lot of work, and just that we sent off another 4,500 kids into the world, making the world a better place. And it is neat to be able to shake the hands of those kids and just see how the future is a little bit brighter with them out there. So thank you to this team, but also especially all the teachers who spend so much time. I also want to just say that those principals that we just have are excellent. And that's true throughout our district. We have excellent principals. We have fantastic teachers. When we do campus visits, it's just amazing the quality of people who are so committed to every student here, and we recognize them as a board. Dr. McGowan.
Well, thank you all for another wonderful meeting. I echo the comments welcoming you back, Georgianne. We're so fortunate that you were willing to step in and to bring your extensive experience as a board member, being so highly trained and recognized, not just in Klein, but across the state of Texas, to our team. So we are thankful to have you back on loan to us. So thank you to you and Tom. I want to definitely say it's always a joy to be at our meetings and to recognize the continued success of Klein ISD, to not only maintain the level of excellence, but then to continue to achieve new markers of excellence. That is something that we can all collectively be proud of. I want to welcome Christina Cole to our teams. We're so glad that you're here, and we look forward to you being part of the next chapter in Klein ISD. And finally, I just want to say thank you to this amazing team on the sides. I will never refer to you as perimeter people, because you all are the heart and the backbone of what gets it done every single day for our kids, you all and your teams. And we are so fortunate to have you. So thank you to the board for your continued support of this outstanding cabinet, and of course to our board for just being servant-hearted leaders who focus on what's best for kids and who use your talents and gifts and abilities for the best purposes in Klein ISD. I'm very thankful.
Amen. And welcome, Ms. Cole. Okay, regardless of whether or not there are any objections, it is now 8:16 PM and the meeting is adjourned.